Hi, everyone. Welcome back and happy Wednesday. All right, guys. Last night we got the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale. And well, I'm recording this before we go live with Ashley and Amani, but we are going to have a live recap today. So if you guys did not get to join us at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is when it usually is, then you guys can go back and be a part of the replay crew. Now, in the meantime, so much is being talked about when it comes to Teresa and Louie. They're literally making headlines all week with these legal financial issues that are being plastered all over OK Magazine, People Magazine, Us Weekly. It's like insane. It's insane. But also there's a lot of opinions coming out too. So we're going to talk about it because it looks like maybe Louie got thrown a bone. And I'm going to explain exactly what I'm talking about. So smash the like button, show some love, and let's just get right into it. Here we go. So Page 6 came out with this, and I saw this yesterday, but it was too late. Louie Ruelas, apparently, he requested more time to tackle his loan amid his ongoing tax trouble. So his loan, I guess, was due yesterday or on the 24th. So the day before yesterday, March 24th. But he received an extension on Monday regarding the $1 million he borrowed in March, according to the US Sun. The $1 million, what they said it was used for was to pay off the mortgage of the house. Not quite sure, but the outlet reported Tuesday that while the businessman's final payment is due, court documents showed that his deadline was extended to March 25th of next year. It doesn't stop. Apparently, Louie paid the lender $5,000, allegedly requested and received an additional $250,000 loan, also due in 2026. So the mortgage modification comes as Page 6 confirmed that him and his wife, Teresa, have been hit with a $3 million tax lien. Clearly, we've said this 5 million times, but Teresa owes over $300,000. Louie owes $2.6 million on top of the $163,000 tax lien that made headlines last year. So it's just like nonstop, but nobody has commented from their camp clearly. And Teresa already spent time behind bars in 2015 after her and Joe were convicted of mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud. But now I'm like, is this going to happen again? We don't want it to happen again. Now, after they got married, though, this was interesting because Page 6 talked about this. Teresa had a $17,000 unpaid tax balance. That, to most people, $17,000 unpaid tax balance, that sounds like a lot of money because it is a lot of money. But can you imagine being like, oh shit, I owe $17,000 for taxes? It's like, that's so annoying. And then bam, $3 million? $3 million? No. The answer is no. I could not imagine that. And it just keeps piling up. This is why everybody said you need to get a prenup. You need to get a prenup. You need to get a prenup. It's just like, because then his debt wouldn't have been her debt. I believe his debt wouldn't have been her debt. She would have had her $300,000 to pay off. She could have easily have done that. And I understand when you're a married couple, you're in it together. But if anybody's going to go to jail for tax evasion, and I'm not saying that anybody's going to jail, but I'm saying if anybody's going to get in trouble and there's going to be a sinking ship, you don't need to go down with him. This is where I think that this decision not to get a prenup was so stupid. And I hate that word. But it's like, yes, you married for love. Okay, well, we don't need a prenup. We don't do things like that. He has more money than you. Maybe you got bamboozled. I don't know. But the point is you can marry for love. That has nothing to do with the prenup. I understand it's cultural and all of the different things. You're Italian. That's not what you do. But if something does happen where one day somebody gets in trouble again, and I'm just saying hypothetically, like say Louie got in trouble, and now because there was no prenup and there's some sort of ties to this financial debt on Teresa's end, and she gets in trouble again, it's like the prenup, if that could have protected you and kept you around while your girls are thriving, while they need to go to dance, while they need to, like they're going through college, while they need their mom, and now something happens and you get put behind bars again, that's a problem. And that is why you should always protect yourself. I mean, I agree with what Bethenny said. Right? Well, anyways, at that time, her attorney said Miss Giudice has been aware of her tax obligations for years. Now, Bethenny Frankel came in and she did yet another TikTok. Let's play it, Bethenny. You just don't stop, do you?
On Louie and Teresa, not because any of you were surprised, because asked and answered, but because recently someone I know was talking about this really gauche, very wealthy man, you know, planes, trains, and automobiles. And he said about this guy, it's giving millionaire energy, not billionaire energy. And in the beginning, I remember someone talking to me about Teresa and Louise, and like that he was flying her places and like he was, you know, showering her with everything. And there was something about it that was like too much. And then I said, but he's on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So he's like a major bag alert, but he's on that trash bin of a show. Doesn't make any sense. You only do that show if like you're broke ass and trying to get somewhere. And then once you get there, you get off. So Louie or Luis has always given 100 to 1,000 energy. We got to go back in on Louie and Teresa, not because any of you were surprised.
Okay, so now it looks like Dolores Catania and Jen Fessler have decided to chime into the conversation. And I don't think that they're too happy with Bethenny clowning their girl, Teresa, which they're friends with Teresa. Dolores has been friends with Teresa for so long. And also, Dolores has a lot of compassion. Dolores is a very grounded person. And she will sit back and I can see it from a mile away. Unless you get Patterson Dolores, then she's ready to shit up. I love me some Patterson Dolores. I never wanted to meet her. Scares the shit out of me. But like, she's definitely a ride or die friend. And for Jen Fessler, I think that they can both look at it and be like, this is kind of mean. Yeah, it's kind of mean, but is it kind of true? Now, Jen Fessler has entered the conversation, like I said, 50 times. This is what she had to say.
So I was just scrolling and I rarely do, actually never do this, but I heard that woman that makes the margaritas say that.
Okay, so that's even, I hate that too when people do that. Like I heard that woman, it's like the same silly shit that Teddy did to me. Like that guy, that thirsty guy, name him. It's like the same thing. It's like, we know exactly who you're talking about. That thirsty woman who makes the margaritas. We know. Bethenny.
Jersey Housewives is a trash bin of a show, and people only go on it if they're broke. And once they get somewhere, they get off it. And it pissed me off. First of all, P.S., I wasn't broke. I don't think any of the women were broke that went on it. That's number one. Number two, it afforded me opportunities, yes, and it was an incredible adventure. But also, I'm sorry. I know you think that New York is so classy and Jersey is so trashy. But honey, they're not that different. And the first time you went on, you might have been broke. But from what I remember, the second time you had made a lot of margaritas and you went back on it. Give me a break. That woman is nasty. So I was just scrolling and I rarely do.
That's a fucking point. That is a good ass point. Jen Fessler. That is a read. That is a point. I didn't even think about that. Bethenny, how do you even answer that? You only go on the show when you're broke. Because if you got real money, well, you sold the cocktail portion of Skinny Girl for $100 million to Jim Beam. And you did go back on. She's right. Way to clock that, Jen. I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And honestly, what do you think the outcome of all of this is going to be? Will they catch up on? Everybody knows when you have credit cards, when you have debt, it just starts piling up. Interest piles up. It's really hard to catch up. So I wish them luck. I do. This kind of feels like living outside of your means a little bit. But I'm not a financial expert. So love you guys.